Okay, so I'm partway through getting all my crap moved into the new shed, but we'll see more on that later. This weekend we're out at one of the Revo Motorsport drift days, and Nick's 32 had a bit of an accident, and then cut to video of Daniel crashing and stuff. And this is the result that we've got. So this side is probably the better side. Obviously the guard's pushed in, the door's a bit pushed in, the rear quarter's a bit pushed in. It's hard to sort of get on the video. It doesn't look as bad on the video as it does in person, but the main issue that we've got is around on this side. I don't even know if this is in focus. It's pushed in, like it's sort of hard, like I said, the video makes it so hard to get a good angle on how far in it is, but the sill's copped a fair whack. Obviously the door's a bit stuffed. This guard back here copped a hit as well. The door 100% doesn't open because the guard here is actually folded around the door and all the paint's coming off it. There's a kink here which says that this has sort of all been pushed in, but luckily looking underneath the car, the sill here has absorbed all the damage and the floor hasn't moved much or at all really, as far as we can tell. So it shouldn't be too hard to get it all pulled out.
That's probably a bit optimistic.
It'll be right.
Should be achievable.
We're going to stick it on our chassis straightener thing and start pulling on it, see what happens. So this will probably be getting done. I don't know how choppy this video will be because we'll sort of be doing it in afternoons. I don't know if it'll take a month because we're out of here for Japan pretty soon. So
it won't happen before Japan, I don't think.
I think it's got to happen before Japan because I need to fix my grey car as well for Mount Gambier, which is back after Japan.
Better get the chassis jig soon then.
Yeah, so we've got a chassis liner. We'll stick it on that, pull it all out. We've got this nice new, well, new to me spray booth. So this will probably be the first car to get fixed up in here. But yeah.
So we've taken off the tail lights, the rear bumper, the boot lid to get some more room to start hammering. So she's pretty sorry looking at the moment. My bog job from about 18 months ago has copped it. But anyway, what I'm going to aim to do now is to get this dent here a bit further out so that there's less bog required. And obviously a lot of work's going to have to go on around there, but I'll just start on the easy part right here for now. Yeah, I think at this stage probably won't be able to start this for another week because we have to get the chassis pulling jig over here and it's pretty big and heavy, takes up a lot of room. So yeah, just going to focus on the rear quarter panels to start with. Don't think I'm getting that.
It's going.
Is it?
Bits of bog are falling out anyway.
It's got there fine. There's like so hard.
This bit's going to be harder to get.
Yeah, I don't think I can get into there.
So this bit here is like, this bit here is easy to get to, and this bit's hard because you can whack the inside of that, but this is in the way from getting into that outside, into this outside bit. We found a socket extension that's going to fit through this little hole. Bang this side out.
Might need one that's a bit longer.
Yes, it's going. It's out better than when fixed in the first place.
It's pretty much just going back in there. Poor car.
It's come out a fair bit. This bog's not been mixed properly, I don't think. It's so like
Too bad.
Soft still. This side's looking a lot more respectable now. There's some good bog falling out of it, but it's looking a lot straighter and less caved in, thanks to some bits of wood and smacking it with a hammer. So we're going to try and start working on this one now, but we'll have to take out the interior trim to get behind there. You can get the bit of wood down through the tail light hole all the way along to about here, but it can't get any further down to there, so we'll start working from the other end and see what we can do. We've just pulled the back seat out and found that this car has harness eyelets in the back. So this car at some points had a racing harness and stuff in it. Probably before it was imported to Australia, back in Japan. It had a stock seat in it when you got it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put the Bright in it, so I'm guessing it probably had an aftermarket seat and stuff.
Yeah.
Before it got imported, and then it all got changed back to stock.
Probably a GTR seat.
Probably ticked the odometer back a couple of times before they shipped it over, put it all back to stock. It's at 1 mint, original 32, never been tracked.
100.
I think we've spent more time trying to get the seat out than we have banging out both these guards. But I was working on this one while Nick was doing that one. And they're both looking presentable. Once he's finished figuring out how the seat comes out, we can...
I'm sure if the door's going to open enough to get this out.
we probably have to get rid of that pallet, and we might have to even move the car
Into the middle.
across, because we've got a lot of space on this side of the car, and then that side of the car is like up against the wall because we're retarded. It's going to be hard just because this is a job for a left-handed person.
Don't know any of those. Bog shooting off like bullets.
What?
Bog shooting off like bullets.
I can hear the bog
Yeah, it's
shooting
coming
off.
Can you go a bit lower?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's moving. Not the kink so much, but it's getting the bit just around there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get...
The kink, you might almost need like a flathead screwdriver or something.
It's like
Or you probably puncture the body like I did.
Yeah, just put a hole on it. It's looking better. So we've done a fair bit of banging out the side, so we're just going to drive it outside and grind a heap of the bog off, so we've got a better idea of what's going on. Obviously that driver's door doesn't open anymore. To get it up here we had to use bits of wood on the ramps because the exhaust was catching on the edge of it, but we'll see if it drives down without getting stuck. It's fine. Whoops. The box of stuff that was under the thing that I thought would clear but didn't clear.
Oh, my bad.
It's fine.
Here a good spot?
Yeah. It's a little engine. Little valve springs. It's even a littler engine. Look at its little piston. It's a baby.
So that now fits in there, but we didn't film it. So
Yeah.
you have to take our word that it didn't fit before, but it does now.
Yeah, we're still trying to get... This hole doesn't quite line up with the peg in the back of the tail light, and we're trying to pull the hole this way, but as we're pulling the hole, this whole edge is coming out, not lining up with the edge of the light. We'd rather have the edge of the light line up nicely and have the hole not quite line up than have the other way around, so we're just going to file the hole out a bit. Then other than that, most of this is sanded back and flat enough that we can put some body filler on it, and this corner of the car will be done. Then a bit more beating out on this part, and that'll be ready for some filler and paint as well. It's getting there.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. So, that's still, yeah, I reckon that's probably,
Tighten down.
once the bolt's done up, yeah, it'll hold it there. What we're doing at the moment is going over the sandpaper before we put filler on it to get rid of any bits that are sort of flaking off already. Because obviously if we stick filler to bits that are already falling off, it's not going to work very well. So, not worried about removing all the old stuff, just removing all the stuff that's come loose from banging the panel out from the inside. So pretty happy all the flaky bits are gone. We're just roughing it up with some 60 grit now to get the filler to stick to it. And I think We'll rough this side up here as well. I've primed this just because I was trying to get a better idea of what it was looking like, but I think it's flat enough bodywork wise that we can get rid of these flaky bits and then body fill this side as well. This side's going to have to wait, but yeah, it's getting there.
Mixing the bog.
It's getting on my hands already. It's turning into a mess. That's pretty much a show car.
Yes, that's good. I was expecting more to be going on.
Yeah, I didn't mix anywhere near enough. It's already getting everywhere. It's probably too much now. Let's see what happens.
It's important to mix this stuff thoroughly for best results.
Otherwise you just get an infinite gooey mess that never dries.
But the ratio itself isn't too important. The brand itself says 1 golf ball for 1 p of hardener. Not too professional.
Scientific. That's the science, like in documentaries when everything's measured in football fields and cars. It's a universal scientific measurement of 1 football field long.
Oh, I don't know how big the football field is.
Neither do I.
Smells like bog.
Getting a lot of it on my fingers again. So I reckon we'll crank this up to like 50 degrees or something and get the bog going hard, so hopefully we'll be able to do some sanding on it tonight. So we're bog's sanding off slowly. This bit here is like low still, so we've got to add some more filler to that before we even try to sand it. We're gonna have to build this corner up here a little bit more. Where's focus? Build this corner up here a little bit more and then fill in a couple of these little holes. Hopefully then it should be coming up straightish. Gonna spray some primer over it so I can see what it's looking like, because it's a bit hard to tell when it's all different colours. So we'll spray this on. Yeah, it's definitely the bits where we've gone down to metal, the foam pad on the sanders like gone around the metal and taken off too much filler. So I have to like use a flat piece of wood with a piece of sandpaper on it to fine finish everything, but it looks flatter.
It's too glossy to tell in video.
Yeah.
It does look fairly flat.
So Nick's been working hard on the body filler on this side. You can see it's pretty much almost completely straight now. Just got to bring this edge out here so the door gap, so this like lines up a bit better there. But other than that, it's good. This is obviously a new door, got a new guard, and now we're going to move on to fixing the other side.
Fixing the big problem.
So this side's a bit past getting body filled because the sill's in so far. So we brought this over the other day from Edie's place, which is a chassis jig, like a chassis jig, a liner. So you put the car up, you clamp the sills into these clamps, and then use a hydraulic ram to pull it out. So the plan is, wherever it's gone, over here, these little key things, you weld these along the sill, whoops, you weld them like along the bottom of the car there, and you can put hooks through them and pull them all to pull the car out straight. But first thing we've got to work out is how to get the car high enough off the ground to fit on top of this thing, so hopefully the car doesn't get smashed.
Hopefully people don't get smashed.
Yeah, the people don't get smashed under the car. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So that's all we have time for today. This video was getting a lot longer than it was supposed to be, so figured I'll put it up in a few separate little bits. If you want to see the next bit, the little bell button next to the subscribe button will give you a notification when the next video is uploaded, hopefully in the next couple of days when I get around to editing it. The paint job on the car comes out sick, so watch the whole video. Also, I have some stickers of the Drift Prelude in the description now, so have a look at those. And good night.